is Money Talk Radio, AM 740 WSBR Boca Raton and WPOW HD3, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Deirdre Bryant. The prosecution of the self-proclaimed 9/11 mastermind and 4 co-defendants begins today. The 5 men will be arraigned before a military court at Guantanamo Bay.
It's been 3 years since President Obama and Congress set up new rules for military tribunals. Now Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and 4 others accused of planning the 9/11 attacks face charges that include 2,976 counts of murder, one for each person killed on that day.
ABC's Vic Ratner. 9/11 families will be able to watch the proceedings on closed-circuit TV. In his weekly Saturday address, President Obama said by the end of 2014, Afghans will be responsible for the security of their country, and the U.S. can focus on nation-building at home.
I've called on Congress to take the money we're no longer spending at war, use half of it to pay down our debt, and use the other half to rebuild America.
In the Republican address, Senator Bob Corker noted it's been 3 years since the Senate has passed a budget. He blames the president for the stalemate.
According to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, this year's presidential budget would actually decrease economic growth over the next decade.
President Obama kicks off his re-election campaign with rallies today in Ohio and Virginia. A salmonella outbreak linked to dog food.
At least 14 people in 9 states have now been infected with salmonella by handling tainted dog food. The Centers for Disease Control is reporting at least 5 people have been hospitalized. The contaminated product is made by Diamond Pet Foods of South Carolina, which makes dog food under several brand names, including for Costco under the Kirkland name. Dogs have not gotten sick, but people have by not washing their hands after handling the pet food.
ABC's Alex Stone. A 9-week-old baby girl from Idaho died this week of whooping cough, also known as pertussis, the first death in an outbreak of the highly contagious disease in the Northwest. This is ABC News.
O'Reilly. Restore your vehicle's lost power by cleaning your entire fuel system with Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, buy one 12-ounce bottle for $7.99. Get the second one free. Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner. Buy one, get one free at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Suffering from allergy congestion? Allegra D decongests. Allegra D depressurizes so you can breathe. Allegra D, a fast, non-drowsy antihistamine, plus a powerful decongestant that gives you 24 hours of congestion-free breathing. It even reduces swelling that can cause congestion and pressure. Allegra D, defense against allergy congestion.
Look for Allegra D at the pharmacy counter. Starts working in 1 hour, applies to first dose only. Use only as directed. Visit Allegra.com.
This is Steve Kane, and I want to tell you how I just saved a fortune on the cost of our family's health insurance. I had a half-hour meeting with Lowell Richard, the top insurance analyst here at AdCobb Medical Coverages. Lowell set up an alternate policy for us. Our premiums are cut in half. We have lower deductible and a reduced copay. And your savings will be even greater if, number 1, your present policy is not with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and 2, your present policy is more than 2 years old. Call today. You have nothing to lose and a fortune to save in insurance premiums. You can reach Lowell 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by calling 954-345-1212. That's 954-345-1212. Leave your name, leave your number, set up an appointment with Lowell. He will save you money, and tell him Steve Kane sent you.
Okay, so we're here, Dr. Mencia, and did you know that the moon, do you know about the moon?
Huge.
It was
bigger
huge
than my
this
head.
No, it can't be bigger than your head. But I have to tell you, this morning I got up at 4 o'clock and I looked, and it was like it was daylight.
Yes,
fabulous.
Beautiful.
Is that something that you ordered?
The moon, well,
Do you have the power over that too?
No, that's God has control on that.
Yeah, it has so much power. It comes through you.
I have the power of thinking. That's what we have, the power of thinking.
Yep.
And one of my patients that came this week is a new patient, and he came through from the radio show.
And was it hypnotist?
He wanted to have a tour of the office, and I gave him a tour of the office. And he said, you don't do justice to your practice in your radio show. You guys should be like, talk about your program. Talk about the kind of thing you are doing here. It's so important. And I said, you know what? I'm going to dedicate the radio show to my practice. Okay. I'm just going to talk about my practice and what we are doing.
Okay.
And to those of us that are our faithful listeners,
I'm going out to have breakfast. You just talk.
I'll close the door on you again.
Lock me out like you do.
Beautiful flower.
Thank you. Because I knew I was going to see you. I had to make everything beautiful here this morning.
You knew it was going to be a romantic morning.
Oh,
just you and I.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I figured you're going to bring your crowd like you usually do. But let's just talk about when you get to your office and what people see and who you have involved and why you have involved, and I won't say anything.
Well, for the people that when this guy came, he looked at the front and he said, you do not have a glass window, separating the patient from the staff. It's an open system. He said, I never seen that before. I have never seen in my life a doctor's office, and this is an elderly, highly educated man that came to see. Never seen that before. And then I read, and it say medical concierge. And I feel, am I in a hotel? Am I in a plastic surgeon office? This is so nice. And so he looked at the different magazines that we have, and they are very high-end. And he says, make me feel like if I'm in a plastic surgeon.
No, I do have to, and I'm sorry, I can never be quiet totally, but
of course,
it is true.
Times is there.
Right. But when you walk in, I have said that to you. There's someone that greets you there that you can see. It is like a concierge in a hotel. And I have admired you for that. Because when I have complained to other medical, I don't do it in a bad way, but I'll say, when you have to knock on the window to see someone, everything has to be private, and that's why we have to do that. Would you explain why they...
Well, private mean, according to the law, what the Privacy Act states is that we are not supposed to talk about a patient personal data or conditions in front of other patients. That's all. That's all we're supposed to do. But it doesn't mean that patient cannot talk to patient cannot talk to staff. And how many times a person will go in, and what I have my medical concierge watching, if he sees somebody that is really, really sick, sitting there, get that person right in before he get the other patient sick. Move that patient in. So, and Will is such an excellent person in the office. He's a great, a magnificent person at the office. And he basically, when I hire Will, I say, Will, you are the tower control. This is a landing strip right here, and you are tower control. You're going to decide who's going to move in first, who's going to go next, who's going to go to the bathroom, who's going to sit down, where to make room for the wheelchair. This is your baby right here. You control this whole. And we just move Will to become an office manager, but he still have his tower control there. And he's a great, great person, and I just hear nothing but good thing about Will. In the office. So when I first designed the building, the architect, he laughed at me. He said, I never seen a doctor office like this. Are you sure this is the way you want to build? So I told the architect, I said, how old are your parents? And he said, oh, no, my father died in a car accident at a young age, and my mother, she's in her 60s. I said, okay, well, we got herbs. She might get to live many, many years more. She's very young. So I said, my father lived to 109. And my grandfather, and I want to build something that if God allowed my grandfather to look at this, that he feel we're treating him with respect. So I want to build something that will show the aging population, not only the young patient, but also especially the aging population. You know, that regardless of your age, everything you have done for society, we owe you. That you are not coming to the doctor and I'm not doing a favor to you. Okay? You are not doing a favor to me. You know, you coming to the doctor because this is something that we as a younger society owe you for what you have done for us to enjoy the freedom and the minor things that we have in life today in this country. So when I build the center, I say I put all the money I have to put in to make the center look and show dignity to the person, regardless if you come in for preventive medicine or if you are coming in because you are sick and you really need to be seen. And I have always listened to my patient. When I do something, I ask them, what do you think? You know? And my patient, they love what I have done so far. So, and when we toured, then he met Patricia at checkout. And he said, oh, beautiful eyes you have. And
she's special, yeah. Very special woman. Very friendly, the same way.
And the staff. And I said, oh, the staff's so friendly. So I brought him and I showed him where we have the list of patients. I usually put a saying for the day. And the saying was, you know, take care of small things because the big things God have in store for you will take care of themselves.
You made that up?
Well,
you make these things up?
I take from things that I read,
right.
Who Moved My Cheese and different books and the subconscious mind. And I just think that I have read for improving a person. So all my staff, they come in the morning.
They want to see what you wrote.
Let's see what the saying of the day is. And
did you invite somebody to come this morning?
Yes.
Someone's coming, so you better talk fast about the other things.
So when we put the program together, we say, well, you know, having a primary care is not enough. We need to have more than that. We need to have also dental office in staff in the facility. Having the neurologist, having the dermatologist, the podiatrist, the psychologist, the hypnotherapist, the nutritionist, all under one roof. But I say I don't want to have it segmented. So I explain to my patient, it's not going to be segmented. I try to do it so that it's an open system that we can communicate with each other. And he said, this is a fabulous idea.
It is. You know, it's the way that hospitals were supposed to be originally. But it's not what's happened there at all. I mean, it's like everything is separate now. And this one doesn't know what that one's doing. And you're lucky, you know, that you may have patients who come actually to you and they have gone to a separate podiatrist somewhere else and a separate cardiologist. And I hope that they understand when they come to you that it's all there. It would be so much nicer.
It's a better type of care. You know, you get to the bottom of the problem a lot faster.
It's called comprehensive.
It's very comprehensive.
Holistic.
It's holistic.
It's the magic that you have there at your center, and I think everyone. I don't know if it's in the water. Something happens at your place
with the people.
Oh, everybody! It's your staff. Everybody's they're drinking the same stuff.
Yeah, Einstein said that when you leave something very organized, the law of the universe, if you don't touch it, it will get disorganized all by itself. So to organize something, to have it working properly, it takes energy.
And you have good energy there.
So you have to, I'm always putting energy into creating that atmosphere.
Just like our radio show.
Just like our radio show.
And we have this very attractive man that's just kind of come into the office. I have no idea if he's here to sell something.
Knows.
Who's he going to do? I don't know. Tell me what you do.
Charles.
I'm a shy, quiet, retiring kind of guy.
Okay.
My name's Charlie Sandberg, and
hi, Charlie.
Oddly enough, my wife and I are patients of Dr.
Good, a real patient? You mean this is not fictitious when you tell me about your patient? You're a real patient.
Most of the time. Sometimes I'm a fake patient, but I'm...
Are you here because he said, why don't you come in and be a patient?
We've been talking about a couple of things to get people active.
To do things.
Do we want people active?
Of course.
Okay.
Rather than I realize that come fall the Dolphins have to play, right? Okay, things like that, and so. Maybe you have to take a little time to sit down and just relax for a couple of hours, and who knows what's going to happen with them this year. But anyway.
But, when you talk, Charles, when you talk to patients.
But active is important.
Yeah, when you talk to patients and you say, what kind of activity do you do? Most of them, they say, I play cards or I go for a walk. And that's not enough. There are so many other things we can do. And when Charles told me what he does, I said, you have to come to the radio show.
What do you, is this okay for the radio?
Sometimes.
A little too sexy? Go ahead, because you can tell us. We can handle it.
No,
what do you do?
Scuba diving.
Scuba.
Have you ever scuba dived?
I'm afraid.
Oh, you see?
I snorkel. No, I snorkel, but I'm afraid to scuba dive.
Okay. We're
so
going to get you. You're going to be the first one there. We're going to get you.
Why did you come today?
After hypnotherapist, then that's your next step.
Okay.
There are a couple of really big misconceptions about scuba diving. One, it's dark and menacing down there, and it's not.
And there are sharks.
It's light. Sharks are fun.
Thank you.
It's bright, it's light, it's a lot of fun. Okay, that's number one. Okay, that it's dark and menacing down there. It's not. It's a lot of fun, and you get to feel.
He needs to be on our TV show. Look at this. We have this animation going on. Okay, go ahead.
And once your buoyancy is set and stuff like that, it's like being weightless. Why not take advantage of basically part of our environment that's 2/3 of our planet, which is water. Okay, it's also a very passive aerobic type of exercise. Okay, and here in Florida and other warm places like this, you don't have to wear a lot of stuff. You don't have to wear a lot of weight and things like that. Although you have to compensate for the buoyancy.
But you could if you need.
Because
they are
you
rentable.
Wetsuits,
You don't have to. It's not a big investment.
You need to wear a wetsuit and stuff like that. But you get to see a whole new dimension of the world we live in and enjoy. And it's good, safe, non-impact exercise as well. The other misconception is it's for people in their 20s. You have to be.
But you look pretty good. You look like you're in very good shape. I have to say that.
That's
I know.
And
a 50-year-old gentleman.
That's because
he's my patient.
At 50 years old, you look pretty good.
Except I'm 64.
Oh, darn it! I guessed wrong again.
But
how long have you been doing the scuba?
Since dinosaurs ruled the world.
And is this something new for you?
New?
Yeah.
No. I'm an IDC PADI staff instructor. I've been diving for 30 years.
Oh, see, that's the difference. So he didn't stop as he grew older. He just kept going, and his body's been used to it too. So what do you say to people who are, let's say, 60 and they have never scuba dove before?
It's one, it's fun. Number two, like any sport, okay, or activity. You take your time and you start slow and work through the process. It's one of those things where you can find a lifelong activity, and it's not sitting at home playing cards, being very sedentary, if you will, along the way, and you take a look at so many. A whole new dimension in our world. You do have to have a physical. I can recommend a doctor.
Can't we? Right, we can recommend the doctor. We know a doctor will do a great job.
You don't have to be an Olympic swimmer. You do have to be somewhat comfortable in the water.
But even if you're not comfortable, because I remember when I took a scuba diving, some of the persons that have fear of going under the water, they went step by step. The instructor will guide you, just put your head down and then you get comfortable with that. So they all take you, and they individualize the training. So one person is just bending down, putting the head under. The other one can be swimming, and it's very soothing to the mind.
Oh,
it's very soothing.
For me, it relieves stress big time. Big time relieves stress.
Oh, wait, let me interrupt you. I love to snorkel, and I can go, and I'm a very good swimmer. So I snorkel, and I feel the same.
Then you can scuba.
Yeah.
I don't know, I know, but I guess I'm worried about the tanks and the Zumba
you can
with the
scuba and Zumba.
But so what is going to be the difference with my snorkeling at Penny Camp, some wonderful places, and doing the scuba? Why do I need to scuba compared to snorkel?
First of all, you can spend time underwater enjoying the marine life that's down there.
More freedom.
And you have the freedom. I mean, you can come to the surface, you can go down, you can spend 15, 20 minutes, half hour, an hour.
And you see this, you see scenery that are very attractive, you go to it. To me, I compare it to flying. And I have my license as a pilot.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
that's something
I'm a
new.
Pilot. And when I'm flying, you take the plane and you say, I want to go between those clouds, and you take that plane and you are free to move around and enjoy nature. When you scuba dive, you're on the water. If you see the fish different color and they're so attractive, you stay there.
I see.
And then you see the rocks and they're so attractive, you go toward that. And there are rules in scuba diving, just like in flying. There are rules. As long as you go
obey
by
the rules,
it's
safe.
I can only do one new thing. Am I going to do taekwondo or am I going to do scuba?
Let's do scuba today.
Scuba.
I want to do taekwondo
today,
with you. Now you're giving me a whole new thing. Okay.
And the other thing about it is it is a measure of freedom in the sense that if you're snorkeling, you're pretty much on the surface. And then you duck down underwater for a couple of seconds or 30 seconds or so, and then you come back up. Well, if you see something on the surface and you go down and you take a look at it, you're going to have to come up because you don't have any extra air. You've got what's in your lungs, and you go back up to take another breath. Chances are by the time you get back down there, it'll be gone. On the other hand, if you're scuba, and you're down there and you see something, you sit there and you can enjoy it for a while. One of the things I took up as part of my scuba process is underwater photography. And I did that because so many people had this misconception about what it's like down there. Mm-hmm. So I started taking photos of various marine life and those types of things to say, look, it's beautiful, it's serene, it's the war can be going on up above.
You don't know.
Yeah.
But down below it's nice and calm.
You have to tell me, I'm sorry, is your name
Charlie.
Charlie, what's your last name?
Sandberg.
Charlie Sandberg, and how long have you been a patient with Dr. Mencia?
Oh, since dinosaurs ruled the world.
That's his favorite saying.
Relocated from.
No, we relocated from Alaska about 2 years ago.
You do have weird patients, I have to tell you.
My wife is a flight attendant. My wife is a flight attendant. She got a job with Spirit Airlines, and she's a flight attendant. And one of the my wife was ill, and she because we were new down here, we didn't know anybody, and one of the other flight attendants recommended that she call Dr. Mencia's office for an appointment, and all of a sudden. He has her, he has me, he has our kids.
He has all of us.
He has us
I know,
all.
he is that kind of a guy, you don't want to go near there if you don't want to go because you're trying. So anyway, that's how you met him.
That's how,
the recommendation.
How we met him. And in fact...
But you're a good specimen, isn't he? I mean, he's really, for his age, he looks good. I can tell he's muscular and he has good enthusiasm, and also, how do you give him, what pills are you giving him that you need to give other people?
The most expensive pill that he's getting is knowledge of preventive care. That Charles understands that, if you maintain yourself with his weight and for his height and all of that, and his the proper diet, that we can prevent hypertension. And one of his initial problems, high blood pressure, he said, okay, we're going to lose weight, we're going to keep you in shape. And every time he come, the blood pressure, what was it the last time?
110/76.
You know.
Fantastic.
So I say, you are great, you're doing excellent. Sometimes, and the last time, he wasn't even my patient, it was his wife that was sick. And I say, he said, let's check the blood pressure. I said, okay, let's go. Perfect. I say, Charlie, you're doing great.
And in fact, mine was better than my wife's.
No.
This is wonderful. Well,
and no pills.
Yeah,
Yes.
This is great. Well, that's what, I don't know if you've listened to the radio show before, but Dr. Mencia does profess that. He really doesn't want people to be on medication unless you really have to be.
It's kind of interesting because the doctor I had before said, okay, we'll control your blood pressure, here's some medication, okay? And you'll have to be on it for the rest of your life.
And then what happens is you can't have sex the way you did either, too. You know, a lot of that happens with the blood pressure. Maybe it didn't affect you, but it does affect people.
It impacts
everything,
yes,
of course, because it has to do one thing, well, that affects another
because
thing.
It impacts the quality of your life. Now, I'm not saying that people don't need medication, because there are some things that you just have to.
Of course,
yes.
Right.
But when he said, no, we're going to control your weight, we're going to do some other things, and I'm going, yeah, right. And so we actually weaned me off the medication I was on.
Fabulous.
And one of his nurses, because periodically I check my blood pressure now, which I never did before, and the time before you checked it, it was 106/70.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing, isn't it, to have that kind
And he goes, what pills are you taking? What are you doing? That was one.
And what are you doing?
That was one. What are you doing? I said, you need to scuba.
That's one. How often do you scuba, by the way?
You know, I do it weekly. I wish I could say I do it daily.
But weekly. Once a week, you really have done it.
I do it about 3 times.
This is amazing, isn't it?
Once you get into it, it's like any other sport, okay? How far do you want to get in?
Exactly.
But what we do, it's one of those things that you need to do regularly. It's like running. It's like anything else. But, for instance, with running, there's some impact to it, okay, from an aerobic standpoint.
This is like free flow.
But in this case, it's non-impact aerobic. Believe it or not, you're exercising all of your muscles, your lungs, your legs, your arms, those types of things in the water. And by the time you get out, you really have had a totally enjoyable experience, but you've had a great workout as well.
That's great. I mean, you ought to have a school.
We have now at the office.
Not a scuba school.
No, we put a sign in.
We do have a sign-in sheet that you need to sign in, because we do want to put together some classes.
We want to offer it to the patients.
To offer it to the patients, so that they can get up off the couch, so that they can have a really nice experience and expand their horizon concerning the world we have.
It's just beautiful.
I have one of my patients. She's going to start a walking club for the patients.
All right.
Because they all come to me. I can say who can go for a long walk and a short walk, high impact, low impact. And we're going to start that soon. So,
how about the cooking school? I want to know, because you all do a lot of good cooking too. Let's really get started here.
That's my specialty.
I'm sure it is.
That's my specialty.
Oh.
He and I are going to have a cook-off.
A cook-off. Okay. You cook too, right?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, this is. You see, I thought this was going to be a dull show today with just you.
Never.
Just you and talking about all the great people you have,
now,
and then you bring in Charlie.
Whenever it's you and I, it's always a sexy show.
Oh, yeah, right.
But
sexy,
now we have Charlie here
and now what, it's not sexy anymore? I think he's a very sexy-looking guy.
He's a sexy-looking guy.
Sexy-looking guy.
My wife will thank you for that.
He may have a romance under the water with fish. There's some cute-looking fish under there.
I will tell you a story.
We only have 1 minute.
Okay.
Can you do it 1 minute?
Yeah, okay. I can. In Alaska, I dove regularly too, did classes and stuff like that. And a stellar sea lion came along in one of our night dives and stuff like that, and took quite an interest in me. And
I told you, I knew it.
And one of my friends, okay, there were 3 of us that teach regularly and stuff like that, and he goes, okay, Charlie, you have a new girlfriend. Her name is Stella the sea lion. And sure enough, we were getting set to do the class the next day, and we're orienting